I never thought I'd come home like this. I was more expecting Mother to be arrested or my sister burned down the house. Instead, it's far less outrageous but just as sad. My dad's dead. Thanks, Dad. Now I'm left with them.
There he is, children. Fresh out of the cooker.
There's my sister Elise.
I think it makes him look fat.
And then my mother said, "Oliver, what are you doing?"
The heart dies a slow death, shedding each hope like leaves until one day there are none. No hopes, nothing remains.
And that's Oliver, my younger brother. And this right here is exactly why I hate coming home. And this is why I should have pleaded harder to have Dad buried. And that's me.
Quinn Nichols, yes. I had an interview 2 weeks ago and I hadn't heard anything back, and I was just wondering. Oh, I see. Okay, wish the new guy luck for me.
And once again, denied another job.
He was my dad! Stop it! Stop it! Okay, well, he liked me better. No! I'm prettier! Hey! Oh, I'm pretty sure he liked me better!
You wish!
This is my family, and this is my life. Now I had to get to the bottom of things. So I asked them, well, and my sister said, I just wanted to see what he felt like. Awkward? Yeah. She's a frightening little girl. I'd be convinced she sold her soul to the devil for that getup if it weren't for the fact that she's an atheist. I continue to scold them in disbelief that they're still this dysfunctional. You would think after this much time, they would have grown to be a little more civilized. Then my mother decides to go on some crazy rant about motherhood. She was always so dramatic. She always tried to be a real mom, but could never leave her theater state of mind. She's supposed to open the world to her children. Look, Elise even knows that that's all scripted. This was all practice and monologues for her plays and recitals. Nothing else existed except her own personal reality. Here she goes. This was her best performance yet, and it was on the day of her husband's funeral. I'm astonished how my brother and sister have been able to tolerate her this long. I had to gain control, so I said, Mom, you're not on stage. Just focus. We've got about half of Dad left here that isn't either scattered on you guys or in the vacuum or in the punch bowl or sifting in the very air breathing right now. Gross. How poetic. Those were the responses I got from my younger siblings that are supposed to fit in with society someday. We had to scatter his ashes somewhere, and of course, Elise asked, where? That's for us to decide, I said, as my mom came and pleaded with me not to leave again. I couldn't handle this dysfunctional family any longer, so I told them, just go wash up, all of you, and we'll figure this out. Thankfully, my mother accepted defeat, of course, begging me to stay for a while. My brother and sister followed her into the kitchen to go wash Dad's ashes off of them. All I could do was assess my own situation, just to realize that I may not be leaving as soon as I hoped.